What's going on, traders? How we doing? Welcome back into the hot seat, and boy, am I excited to keep it going, guys. Another great day yesterday. Of course, Monday had a small red day, down about 100 something. Now, yesterday, nice over $500 day. So ready to get after this week. Let's go, guys. The playbook has been hot. Let's take a look at today's playbook. Right, first up, guys, we got a bunch of AI names, and I think this is interesting because I was just looking at the scanners and trying to look around to see what I could see as trends, right? I always look to do this every single morning. Let's take a look at what I was seeing this morning. We were seeing a lot of these AI names, and I think it's interesting to definitely take a look at these as BBAI starts to make a move, right? Now I can take a look at even C3AI. That's not the one that I really saw moving, but I did see a couple other ones like Sound setting up for the $5 move towards $6. This is one that I definitely have on the radar today. Another one, GXAI. This was an electronic gaming company, and this was up big earlier this morning. So I'm taking a look to see if it'll get a spike during the open. It's definitely come down a big amount already, but these plays definitely in play this morning. A lot of these AI names, so we'll see. Maybe it's an AI type of day and we start to get the lift. Of course, we've seen other kind of robotics plays also taking a lift lately. RR. We'll see if Serve gets to move back through 12. A lot of these in play, guys. Let's go to the second on the playbook. We'll talk about SMR. Of course, New Scale Power Corporation. And this is all about nuclear energy. You guys heard the conversation yesterday about Trump. That was on the Sunrise Report. And that actually gives us a catalyst for these stocks. And just to mention, these stocks aren't looking too bad. And there's two names that you can trade here, right? You don't have to only trade SMR. You can also trade nuclear energy, right? And that's going to be something definitely to take a look at. Of course, you're talking in there. Definitely don't miss it with NNE today, mentioning of a buy of a kind of a facility to give them a little lift. This is one that I think will lead the party, NNE. But you can also look to see if SMR gets started. One of the things I like about the SMR chart is that it's pulled back from a long time ago, right? This wasn't pulled back off of the Trump mentions. This was back in July. And it's gone sideways now for a while now. And so at this point, we need to see if it starts to make a move back towards 10. I think that's the level that I'd be looking at, definitely, to see if it starts to make the move back through 10. You look like you got a bottom off the $8. You've gone up there how many times? 1, 2, 3 times, right? 3 times in that $10 spot. Recently, we were up there towards $9.95. I'm looking for a retake of that 10 and then eventually actually taking that 10 out. And then we can really start to get this going. So look to see if maybe we can make a little run towards the $9.75 and the $10 spot on SMR would be definitely something that would get my attention. We'll see what happens here on this name. Let's go to the next one and the last one on today's playbook as we talk about TSN. And yes, I'm talking Tyson, baby. As you guys remember, I brought Dole here just a while ago. That was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that one's continued hot. So it really isn't a bad name. Let's take a look at TSN, see how the chart is looking right now for the setup. As you guys can see, this is looking for a 63 breakout above the resistance. And if I scroll back, I can see that this was support or resistance before, and now is acting as support. So around the 62 is your support. Looking to see if this can claim back through this big gap and start making a move above the 63 towards the next gap. There's a gap to fill there towards 64s, and 65s would be the next move up. So that's what I'm looking for, pretty much a move back towards the 66. You can get back towards 67 and 70s. Those will be in play. You got the 200 EMA on the weekly coming into play. So a lot of traders will be watching that. Really will watch for the 9 EMA to hold here. 62 right now on the pullback. Looking for this to go ahead and just take out this high here to the left, 63.90s, go to the 64s, could maybe even make a run to the 65s. And just to mention a different name in this spot, of course, Dole was one that we mentioned when it was just starting to get through the 14. Now it's going through the 16 and has gone sideways. Looks like it could continue to make a move. So farm products have been hot as of late. Keep your eyes on these. And just to mention one more here is ADM. And this one's actually been on a pullback, was recently looking like it was going to go for the gap fill. Then just got a nice little pullback. We'll look to see if the leader starts to make the move to the upside. All right, that's going to be it for the playbook. Of course, every single day we give you guys a playbook, and this is more based on psychology, patterns, different outlooks, using different variables to show you guys how to approach every morning, right? I think everyone needs a playbook. So what's your playbook today? I ask you guys, throw it up in the comments below if you're watching on Twitter, or maybe you're just watching here on YouTube. Hit us up on the chat and let us know what's in your playbook today. It's always good to catch the watch list. Now let's kick it off to, of course, the Sunrise Report, where we give you guys the stocks that are moving and why they're moving. And I think that my man Tim is going to be happy about one stock on our Sunrise Report. Of course, you guys know how he's a Target fan. Let's go take a look into the Sunrise. All right, team, let's get it started. The first one up to this morning will be, of course, on what's going on with Jerome Powell. Looks like I'm having a little issue on my graphics right quick. Let me just go ahead and make sure that I can get this fixed right quick before we get started here. I haven't had any troubles with it before, but I can fix that up. Let's get this going here, guys. There we go. Let's see if it's fixed there. It's for some reason having some issues there. Let me see if the second one will read there. All right, the first one's just having the issues. There we go. Got it fixed there. Money Mitch coming through. Let's get it, baby. All right, guys, let's kick it off here. Of course, the Sunrise Report is brought to you guys every single morning by Trade the Pool. And the idea here is to give you guys the outlook of what's going on. Today, everyone will be watching about what happens with the Federal Reserve in the Fed minutes, as they'll be released later today. And investors are, of course, on edge looking for any talk about interest rate cuts among FOMC members. So that's what I will be looking for in the minutes. What was said by certain members? How was the look? Were certain members pushing for a rate cut on the recent one, on July's report? July's meeting. And I think that that's the important thing to catch here. If you hear that conversation, that's going to be something that will definitely be talked about. So how much of a debate was there in the last meeting for a rate cut? We'll soon find out. Of course, this could have a big impact on the market sentiment today. And of course, as we get closer towards Friday's view, as we'll see, of course, my man Jerome Powell at Jackson Hole, and we'll find out a little bit more about interest rates. Let's kick it off over to the second report today as we kick it towards Target. And Target's been one that's been beaten down, right? Well, things are starting to turn around here. And I think that's an important outlook for Target because they needed it, right? So let's talk a little bit right here. Target is back in the spotlight, of course, starting to make the move back after a strong Q2 24 performance here. The retail giant saw 3% growth in sales. Of course, this is a refreshing return to form after a period of sluggishness. Of course, Target beat Wall Street's earnings expectations here, reporting an EPS of $2.57, surpassing the $2.20 estimate. Sales of $25.45 billion, edging out the $25.229 billion forecast. They also raised its profit guidance for the year. This is what you want to be seeing if you're a Target investor, right? They're expecting now EPS in the range between $9 and $9.70, up from a previous range of $8.60 to $9.60. So, of course, despite the optimism, though, the company is remaining cautious, predicting that the full year comparable sales growth would likely land in the lower half of the flat to 2% forecast. But shares are getting a little bit of a jump here. They jumped over 10% in the pre-market trading as investors are reacting positively to the earnings beat. And it's something that we'll keep watch as an improved outlook here for Target is a good outlook for the consumers. But of course, they're talking about the sales growth not going too much. So I would give this one a little bit of a mixed noise because of that, right? They don't expect to see the sales kind of getting that big jump, but they had a nice little move in the right direction. So that's giving them the lift this morning. Let's kick it off to Macy's as Macy's goes and cuts full year sales outlook and is looking to cut down some stores. Not something that you want to be hearing. right? We'll talk on the flip side of things here, right? As Macy's has revised their full year sales forecast to the downward side, citing selective shoppers and increased promotions. Of course, you guys do increase promotions, man. Every single time I go in your store, I get free money. Of course, you guys have problems with promotion. The department store operator now expects net sales to be between the range of 22.1 billion and 22.4 billion, down from the earlier 22.3 and 22.9 billion estimate. Despite beating the earnings expectations here with an adjusted EPS of 53 cents versus the 30-cent expected, Macy's missed on revenues, reporting 4.94 billion against the 5.12 billion estimate, and shares dropping about 8% in pre-market trading as the company grapples with a cautious consumer spending and a softer retail environment. Not what you want to hear, especially in the retail space, but overall, I think this is more to do to Macy's. And I did see in this report that they're going and cutting about a third of their stores. Well, I think it's starting to be the beginning of the end of Macy's, as I definitely don't think this company will be around even in 10 years' time. I think this is another kind of J.C. Penney stories, or you could call it Sears, whichever way you want to call it. I don't see Macy's surviving, but let's keep it going. Let's go over now as we kick it to TJ Maxx. TJX, of course, not doing too bad here. The company, of course, is more viewed as more of your discount retail, right? So let's talk a little bit more about this. They delivered a strong Q2 results here with an EPS here of 96 cents, beating the 91-cent estimate, and the sales surpassing also 13.46 billion, surpassing the 13.30 billion forecast. The company saw a 4% growth in comparable store sales, and it raised its full year pre-tax profit margin and EPS guidance. Through its Q3, EPS guidance came in slightly below estimates. TJX performance highlights the continued strength in the discount retail sector. So keep your eyes on that. Of course, we got sales that came from Walmart. Walmart was pretty good. Costco going higher on this. Ross Stores going higher on this. So keep your eyes on the action in the discount stores. Let's kick it with the last one here, guys. I want to talk a little bit about some home building talk as, of course, Toll Brothers comes in, and they didn't do bad either. Another impressive Q3 result here with an adjusted EPS of $3.60, beating the $3.31 estimate. Sales of $2.73 billion ahead of the $2.71 billion forecast. The company delivered 11% more homes this quarter through its backlog, even though its backlog was down 10%. So they're delivering more homes, but the backlog is slowing down. That's what the given information here is. With the momentum, though, carrying into August, Toll Brothers continues to demonstrate the resilience in this challenging housing market. And with more mentions of interest rates coming down, I don't see these companies slowing down anytime soon. Unless something breaks in the housing market, these companies are going to continue pumping out houses. Now, one thing's for certain, we'll be watching on the next report to see if you get a mention of an increase in that backlog, not the backlog going down 10%. That's what you would need to see this continue to rise. That's going to do it for us today on today's, of course, Sunrise Report. Thanks for tuning in, guys, as the Sunrise Report is to keep you guys ahead in the market, keep you in the know, right? Join us again tomorrow, like always, for more updates. And if you guys don't check out our live stream every single day, we put this out. And of course, we put out the Sunrise Report in text form right there on Twitter. So keep watching us, guys, and check out our live stream as we live trade every single day. Starting at 8:30, we go into the watch list and then really kick things into live trading towards the 9 a.m. time. It's time to kick off that live trading. So let's get it started. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's see who's going to get out of the pool today. Who's getting that money? Let me know in the chat. What's your top watch? Who wants 200, baby? You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at. What up, traders? What's going on, guys? Who's ready to get back into the action? Guys, I'm already in a trade, so you guys know how it is. It's a fast market. Let's keep up with the trading action. Let's take a look at what I'm in right now. And of course, we'll talk a little bit about some other stocks that are moving. If you guys got a name you guys want to talk about, throw it up in the chat. I'll definitely catch it here. And let's talk a little bit about it. I'm really close on this trade, so I really need to kind of focus in here. Just pulled back. It was looking like it wanted to make a little bit of a break here. So let's keep a close eye on it here and see what's going on. I'm in RevB, guys, and I've been in this for a little while now, guys. I've been trying to kind of slowly size into this name as I see a nice little setup that could make another move back towards 3. I'm watching it right now, and I can see this kind of pulling back action. It's kind of a flag action here, and it could still pull back, and that's where I'm a little bit concerned because the $2 could pull back. I really don't want to let this go through the 220s again. It was there for a second, went to 216, now coming back towards the 240s. I'm in at 244s. That's my average, guys. So looking to see if this could recover to 275, 3, and maybe even push back towards that pre-market high of 376. Maybe it gets to 4 today. So if that would happen, of course, that'd be a nice little gain here. Taking a shot here in RevB. RevB, not looking too bad. I'm going to keep watching this one. We'll take a look at some other stocks out there. If you guys got a stock you guys want to talk about, definitely throw it up. I'll keep a close eye on RevB. If you guys out there see anything moving this morning, throw it up. We can definitely talk about it. We can take a look at all the gap scan out there. What's doing well? Look at this SMFL. I didn't even catch this one earlier when this one was moving because it moved right around 8:15, guys. So take a look at this. Right before I was getting ready for the kind of the opening action here, at least the opening part of the show, this thing ripped, went all the way up there to $2, so close to $2, and then 225, pulled back all the way to the 160, then made a move to 280s, now just pulled back to the 235 spot. We'll look to see what happens with this one. FMFL, packaged foods, ripping, guys. This has ripped before. Every time it rips, it feels like it comes right back down. So just be careful out there with this one. Definitely a smaller name, but nice little rip there in this stock. All right, we can take a look at some other action. Of course, we could take a quick little peek at Target. What a move there by Target. Now it really is starting to create that big bottom on the monthly candle. This looks like a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. So now, as long as it can hold this red line, we're looking good, guys. Below that, I'll probably short Target, but right now, it's looking like it wants to come right back up. So you see, I draw this line in the past, a pullback towards that monthly. I drew this actually all the way back, and it's crazy to think so. I drew this back in June 20th. So now I need to start taking a look to see if this can go back towards the 180s. So now that you're starting to rip, I think this could start working its way back there towards the 180s. So you just have to look for pullbacks on opportunities, right? So pullback opportunity on Target today would be closer towards 156 for me. I kind of stick with that 90 MA line, that light blue line for pullbacks on an hourly basis. But Target is looking good today. Let's take a look at Walmart. Walmart is probably lifting on this also. You guys can see that now. It's almost breaking towards the upside of the range and breaking out of this channel. Of course, remember that this did break down below the channel, but it went right back into the channel. So part of me is thinking that it could hold that channel, now trying to break up towards the 76. We'll see what happens here on Walmart. Costco is recovering just as fast back towards the upside. Now it's back towards 882. Could take 890s today. Of course, there is some resistance coming into play, so keep that in mind. I did see Dollar Tree making a move higher, DG making a move higher. So a lot of these discount stores off of that Target mentioned making a big boost up. So we'll keep watch to see if these can continue the lift. Ross Stores, of course, moving off of that TJX report. Look at TJX up there towards the 120s. And continuing to push. This was also an outlook that recession really not coming into play as TJX with a nice little push. Let's take a look at Ross Stores as that comes to recover the resistance around the 152. Could make a move to 154, 155 today, but I feel like it's already kind of made a nice little push here in the pre-market. Got to a high of 153.60. So that's Ross Stores. Of course, you guys can take a look at some different ones. Macy's today down there now towards 16.01. And it just goes to show me, I really do think this is a short that I could, like, the company could just disappear. Of course, there could always be a buyout of Macy's. Remember when this stock gapped up here, it was at 18. I wanted to short it. And then out of nowhere, there was some sale mentioned that Macy's could get bought. And then it was up here. Ever since then, it just started to come right back down on this gap down. It was because that sale wasn't going to happen. So it came right back to 18, giving me that opportunity. Now it's the smackdown. Now I think eventually it could go through 15. So even though it's at 16 today, do I think it's done on the downside? No, I think it could just bounce here towards maybe 1650s and then really see that downside continue towards that 1550. You can see the pre-market low around 1560. So I'll look for that to get the takedown. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's go ahead. Let's continue to watch to see what happens in different names, but definitely retail taking a little bit of a whacking today. So I'll continue to watch to see how different names perform. Starbucks has been really kind of making the comeback there. We'll see. Do these companies just kind of fill in the gap on the downside, or will they make an upside approach? Same thing is for like Victoria's Secret and different names in here. ANF has been quickly lifting right back to the highs. So I think you got to continue to watch to see what happens in retail. Will we eventually get back towards the recession concern? I definitely think that could happen. Of course, I was looking at Best Buy to see if it would make the lift towards 86. There's still that play on. So if someone wants to take a look at a name like Best Buy, it's available to you. It's just more of a question, do you think it'll get the run? All right, time to catch up with you guys in the chat. Time to take a look at some of the stocks you guys are watching this morning. Jane, what's up? Good morning. Clean Spark long, Upstart short. Let's take a look at that. I like Clean Spark. I've been keeping a close eye on it. A big part of me has been looking to see if this can hold 11, and it's made a couple of attempts into the 12. The big part, of course, about this is all on what? It's going to be all on what's going on with Bitcoin, right? I mean, that's what you got to be looking at. Let me take a peek at Bitcoin this morning. I didn't even take a look at Bitcoin this morning, so I want to just take a look at where the price is right now. It's around trading. I have it around like 59.5s, and it's made a move into the 60,000 a couple of times, right? Last week, it was pretty much there the whole time. In July, it was up towards 67,000. We've been kind of holding in slightly below the 60,000. If we could recover 60,000 and go to 70,000, that's that run where these stocks go right back up towards, let's say, 16 or 19 for Clean Spark. So is there potential for a run? Yes. And so just with that potential, I think it's something definitely to keep a close eye on. We'll see what happens here with Clean Spark if it can make the move. It's holding these pullbacks. Of course, you could get kind of like maybe an undercut and rally back through 12. I definitely think that you have the potential there. The only real question is, will Bitcoin make the run? If Bitcoin cuts down into the 50,000 or maybe back into the 40s, yeah, this is back down through 11. And if anything, back through this 950. So that's the understanding that you got to get after there. We'll see what happens there on Clean Spark. What's going on? It's always good to see some new faces. What's up out there? How we doing? What stock you looking at today? And the Upstart for the short. Upstart for the short. That's interesting. Let's take a look here. Upstart back there towards $40. It has made a big move back there. Now the only question is, will it come crashing right back down? I think if you look at the weekly, you can see how this stock kind of ripped back through these levels and then really started to take off. You could get a pullback to 30. So I do see that pullback to 30 being available to you. But right now, you're way above the 9 EMA, right? And so the move back to the 9 EMA makes sense. But understand, you are kind of extended. You have momentum to the upside. You're staying within this channel. So that's another thing to note here. And then I'd take a look at how many times you've attempted to break out above this. 1 attempt, 2 attempts, 3 attempts. And just recently, we just got the 4th. So yeah, can you short off of that level? Yeah, you can. So I would actually look for a triple top around that level. So come up today towards this level like 40.10, go up to 40, right below it, maybe 39.90s, and then whack right back down. So that's what I would be watching for, or a cut down back through this support, let's say 37s, and now you're heading back towards the 90 MA, and you know your resistance to short off of is around the 40. That's how it is on Upstart. We'll see what happens. Stay calm, or stay con. What's going on out there? How we doing? How's the swing trading going? Let's talk a little bit about some swing trading. I love swing trading talk. So you get me excited with that. Let's go take a look at my swing trading action right now. I'm going to just focus in and just maybe set a stop here. Definitely don't want this to break back through the 220s. So I'm going to go set up here like kind of 218s. Just making sure that my RevB isn't going to cut me out while I'm looking at the. There you go. I just set a stop there. I hate placing stops, but let's go. Let's go take a look at the swing trade side of things. And here you have it. These are my swing trades right now. Let's take a look at the action and see what's going on. So for all the swing trade action, right now I have SARK, I have Planet Labs, and I have XLU. CAT got cut yesterday, which I'm going to continue to watch. It's actually above my entrance from yesterday. So I was in this towards 342. I actually cut out of this for a small win, looking to see if CAT can recover 350. That's one that's definitely going to be on the radar on the swing side of things. But let's take a look at the winners right now. XLU continuing to go. Got to a high yesterday of 75.18. Right now we're at a high there, starting to push. And getting that push. We're at 75.20s for the high in the morning. I'm looking for this to run to 76 and just a little bit above that. Of course, I got in this at 73s. So back here, back in this spot is where I got in. I'm looking for a takeout of this 75.56 today, and then going towards the 76. I'll take some profits and run with this bad boy. Not a bad move. And utilities isn't that sexy. I should have got bigger on this. And when it approached 73 multiple times, a couple days after that, it was approaching the 73s. Should have been able to add another 100 shares. And then we could have already been taking the profits. But hey, to each his own. We'll see what happens on that one. SARK is one that I have this morning. And this is more of an attempt to see if we do get some more downside. It was more of a protection play. So sometimes I like to have a play that's kind of anti-correlation or against the correlation of the overall market. So essentially giving me some downside protection. If the market just completely wiped out today, SARK would be up big. XLU would probably be close to break even, and PL would probably get me out. That's the way it works. That's how trading works. So you always got to know in swing trading, rotation, because rotation will go against you and for you in swing trading. So sometimes it's going to help you where the market's just driving, or the industry and sector is driving other stocks and all the stocks in that sector and industry higher. Well, the same thing can happen on the other side where things rotate against you, where you have a name that the chart was looking good, but now the market's getting wrecked, and you actually get to get a loss on a name like this because you should have been taking profits when you saw the rotation turn against you. So one of the things that I like to do is if I feel rotations going against me, maybe take a position against even the positions that I'm looking at, right? I was looking at like technology staying strong, but right now it could flip and it could actually start to break down. So with that mention, I'm going after SARK, which is pretty much an anti-growth. You're going against Kathy Wood, which is, of course, growth names. And in this case, I'd be going against it, trying to short it, right? So we'll see what happens. Did you see the cat truck? It looks tough. Yeah, man. I mean, you can't go wrong with these names. And one of the things to mention on those industrials is that it's been a given that the interest rates are going to come down. And if that's stated, that could continue to lift those industrials. One name that look out, of course, Deere above 400. If that can make the move, I think CAT just follows it through 350. And you can catch all these names at the same time. Deere, Picard, all of them are going to be names to watch. We'll see what happens with these. All right, let's get on the swing trade side of things. Of course, let's take a quick look at PL. PL is up there towards 277s. I'm still looking for this to run into the $3. I've had 500 shares of this thing and just sitting in it for 2 days now. Not too bad, right? This just goes to show me, guys, and I think that a lot of traders need to think about this, is that sometimes we try to play these big movers in the small cap space, but in the small cap space, there's also names that are just continuing to trend higher. And those names we want to be a part of, because if they're just slowly stair stepping higher, especially in a smaller name, that could really give us a big win. And especially for you guys out there that are trying to find ways to win in the evals, right? In the evaluations, whether it be the day trading side or the swing trading side. This could definitely help you take that next step up and trying to ride a wave up on a smaller name that's just continuing to win. And why do I go for Planet Labs? It has a mention with SpaceX. That always helps it. I'm always looking for stocks that have names and partnerships with bigger stocks. Like if you mention something with Apple and you're a small name, you could just continue to rise as investors see the potential outcome, right? The potential return coming to you. We'll see what happens out there. And just to mention, there's other names like this, right? You guys can keep watch. Let's take a look at, just in my mind, some of the names that could be kind of making a move like this. Archer was a name that was for a little while kind of continuing on the upside. I mean, if you think about it, ASTS was also one of those names at one point, but this just continued going. And it's continued to just trend higher. This is how a small cap can turn into a mid cap really quickly. ASTS, what a move there, guys. All right, we'll continue to watch to see what happens there in SARK and different names. I will be watching, of course, the swing trading action, especially out the gates. We'll see what happens there. Let's switch it back to the day trade action and see how things are going. All right, well, seeing that definitely getting this downside attempt here in RevB. Taking a look at it, guys, because this should have already bounced, guys. The way that I look at it, I'm about to cut RevB because it's just not wanting to go right now. So just taking a look at it, really would like to see this kind of hold 223s on the pullback, not cut the 220s. Could cut out there if it cuts to 220s. A move back through 250 is what I'm looking for. That's the strength move where you can get the buyers to come back, buy up to 260, and you're right back to 285s, $3. So if we start to get that move, I'm going to sell a good portion of it at 3 and then look to see if I get that bigger move towards 350 or 375. Let's go through the gappers. Let's go take a look. Of course, SMFL was one of the ones that did show up. SDIG is another one that I'm looking at here. Stronghold Digital Mining. Digital mining stock getting a nice little lift there. So we'll see what happens with this one. SDIG trying to get back above the 5. Could pull back to the $4 spot, but already made that pullback. This is where it goes up to 5, pulls back to 4, gets up there, and now you get kind of like a tighter pullback. So I'd be looking for those tighter pullbacks to hold, maybe a pullback coming towards like 430s, 425s, and then the move through 5 could be the breakout. Another thing is to maybe draw this top trend line. You can see how you went up closer to it. You've gotten a couple of pushes through it. I'd look for one more pullback towards the lower line to then see that really take that move. We'll see what happens there. BBAI. I've talked about these AI moves and how they're trying to make a move today. This one's on the radar right now. It's already looking like it wants to make the move back through $2. This has made a couple of attempts through $2. It first went through here through 205, then eventually went to 218. Could take back $2 and take 220s. So that's what I'd be watching right now. You just recently got a 175 pullback. That seems like the support right now. So the risk would be about 10 cents here to see the move go back through $2 and above. And then you're talking about what, like 20, 25, 30 cents on the upside. So still 3-1 here on BBAI. And for that mention, other AI plays also in play here, Sound and also GX AI. Talked about how that one was moving this morning. It could get the lift back. This has already been fading, but BBAI definitely doesn't look too bad here at the 184. What do you guys think about the Big Bear AI? Rawr goes the Big Bear. Let's go, guys. Smash it up out there. Little pinkies up action. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Let's see what we can find today. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let me know what your top trade that you're looking at this morning. Let's get it going, guys. Let's go. All right, team, let's go. Let's make some money. Of course, yesterday, let's talk about yesterday's trade, right? The top trade yesterday was on Goldman sucks. Sucks. Oh, man, I just messed with that one. That's for Prad out there. Prad, if you're watching, that one's for you, my friend. Of course, yesterday, big trade, shorting the financials, right? I could have also shorted XLF, and I was able to make a good money on kind of a penny name, gave me $100 cushion, and I took a big shot in Goldman Sachs. Really nice trade. Could have gotten bigger too and made like a $1,000, $2,000 trade. But the truth is, I've been trying to keep things simple, right? If I can keep making $500 gains, still add up, guys, still add up. The key though is like making like $600 days, $700 days, and then losing only 100 or 200 on the downside days. That's going to be the real move that really takes you to the top, right? Of course, this is not going to always happen, because if I did that, that would be maybe one trade red and I'm out. Right? The truth is, what we need to do is give ourselves the opportunity to get these big upswings, but controlling the downswings, right? This is how trading goes, guys. It's an up and down wave, right? Can you control the down wave and actually make the up waves really push you up higher so that you're working on a linear kind of pattern, right? Where you're continuing to make money. That's what we need to do, traders. We'll see what happens. Smash the like. Let's go, traders. You know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. What are you looking at, traders? What you got? Mitch, you're making dad sounds. That's exactly it, Jane. That's exactly where it's at, man. Rawr! Let's go, guys. Let's see what else is out there. 3-1 keeps you in the fun. I love it, Wisdom. You guys are enjoying that action. Let's go. There you go, man. Yeah, definitely. Let's just say my boys love the sound effects. So it's been a specialty of mine since I was a kid. So we'll see what happens today, guys. Can BBAI make that move up? This is looking good, guys. Nice little hold of the 170. I kind of like this. A little part of me is thinking about playing this right now, but I'm in a different name, right? And so I kind of, try my best not to confuse myself too much. But this BBAI, definitely one on the radar today. As a matter of fact, I need to set a nice little alert on that one. Let me set an alert on that one, guys. So definitely we're going to add it to our watch list. And today we're going to build a watch list, right? So a lot of the times guys can build watch lists right here on the platform, right? You don't need to be going elsewhere to build watch lists, guys. You can do it right there. You guys can take a look, right? You got the you can go for your default list. There's some names there, kind of your common names that kind of trade, but you can always create a new list. Just hit the down arrow, create that new list, start adding some new names, right? That's the easiest way, guys. And you can easily add new symbols, add some different ones, right, guys? You guys can go ahead and get after it. BBAI, we could be adding, right? Go ahead and just add that one. We can also take a look at some different ones. You guys can double click. You guys can click on some different names to kind of add those. GXAI, right? You guys can go ahead and add that one. But definitely adding those names to the watch list can help you guys out, right? And another thing you guys can be doing is setting alerts, right? If you're not setting alerts already, I definitely think that you should be setting alerts, because this is one great way to help you out on the charts here, right there, guys. So make sure that you have your set alerts on. But if you can see this yellow kind of bell here right by the prices, so I can go ahead and I can set an alert on this. I can be like, okay, well, let me know when BBAI is going to cut through 187, right? And so there you guys have it. And I can go ahead and even go into it and kind of change it up, right? I could even place an order plus notify, right? So here is a situation where, let's say if I wanted to get long BBAI at this spot, I could actually place the order and notify it at that spot. Not just notify me, but actually go long at that spot, right? And you can also think about expiration. You can do a time expiration on this, right? Say, hey, I only want to go BBAI in the pre-market here, and I want to do it if it goes over 187. These are great tips and tools that you can be using right here on the Trade the Pool platform. So if you're not using these tips, definitely take a look at it, guys. I would definitely be using different ways to be getting after it here, right? You guys can do show pop-up sound so you can hear it in your ears, right? You can do greater or equal to or just greater. You can also do an alert type on the bid, on the ask. If I want to alert myself when this is going to go through 187, would I really want it to be on the bid? No, I'd actually want it to be on the ask. So I would want to alert me when the ask gets to 187. And I'm saying ask with ASK, not the other one. I know Wisdom out there is going to enjoy that one. But yeah, definitely take a look at that, guys. And then after the execution, what can you do, right? After execute, what do you want it to do? Do you want it to remove it? Do you want to stop it, right? That's what it's all about there. And you could just say stop the alert behavior. That's all you need to do there. And there's different ways of doing this, guys. So I would definitely take a look at that, and maybe placing an order is what you want to do. Maybe you're just like, I only want to get long when it cuts this, and I don't want to make the action. I want the computer to make the action for me. Great way to get after it. Let's go ahead. Baba needs a dada. You guys. Baba's actually in play today, man. We'll take a look at that action. Chinese stocks, right? We'll see what happens with that. We'll see if these can continue to lift, man. And like always, guys, making watch lists is so important, guys, and using the top list, right? I always use the top list also. You guys can see it here. I'm going to pull it onto the screen, but definitely take a look at that, guys. Detach. There it is. All right. So, guys, like always, you guys can hit the gainers and losers list. And this is how I find a lot of the smaller names in the morning, right? So I go here and I put it by the volume lower by than 500,000. So you see here FMFL, you see RevB there, you see SDIG there. So a bunch of these, right? GDC showing up there, Target, Siri, different names here, CDMO, some names that you can definitely keep a watch on, guys. So definitely, if you haven't used this before, I would definitely suggest it. Another thing is to make a symbol link. So I have this linked on yellow, and by doing that, when I click on a name, it goes to my chart. It literally just opens my chart already. So if I click SMFL, it changes my chart to SMFL. Different ways that you guys can be using Trade the Pool. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Let's see what we can get into and what we can find today. Ready to get after it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, a lot of action out there, guys, and continuing to watch my RevB trade here as this is just moving all around, and it might just cut me out here. It's definitely getting towards the danger spot here. I could cut it at 230s here, but I'm looking to hold the 225 spot there and seeing what happens here, especially 220s cuts. I'm out of there. But looking to see if I can get this nice little run towards 250, especially closer towards the bell. 9:21, guys. We only got about, 8 minutes left, about 8 minutes and a half here before the bell. We'll take a look to see what happens with some other moves. I did see other names that really were moving fast yesterday, really break down, like TTNP. So we'll look to see if that one can come back today. Right now, it's not on my radar, but if this could come back to 1050s, it could show right back up. We'll see what happens on different names out there. All right, catching up with you guys out there. What are you guys taking a look at? There's, of course, one technology name that is up big, which is Keys. Keys Technology made a huge move on their earnings. It's up there to 155. We'll see what happens with this one. I don't trade this one often. I really don't know too much about Keysight's technology, so that's why I didn't bring it up. But it is up big there. Baba, let's take a look. Can you call Baba an evening star on the daily? Let's take a look. You can call this one, right? Kind of more of your evening star there, and kind of a turnaround there. And one thing that I would look on Baba, and I talk about this all the time. Look how Baba goes up, comes back below the 9 EMA, goes up, back below the 9 EMA, up, back below the 90 EMA. But a lot of times, what do we get when we go back below the 90 EMAs? Either a 2 to 3 day outlook, and then it starts to work its way back. Same thing here. 2 to 3 day outlook works its way back. Below the 9, right back above the 9. So it does this on a consistent pattern. So at this point, I'd be looking to see hourly pullbacks and then looking to see if we can break through the highs. Right now, you're up there towards the 82, right? Your hourly recovery is actually the 82.50. I'd look for pullbacks back towards like 81, maybe even 80 to hold here, and then maybe trying to catch a long on BABA. I can't blame you guys for looking at BABA today. Even I am thinking about it a little bit here. All right, guys, we'll see what happens here on RevB. It's close to stopping me out here. I'm just really keeping a close eye on it here. Don't want to lose too big here in the pre-market. Could give up about $100, maybe a slightly above that 100, but definitely don't want to go further than that. Right now, it's really close. It's towards that 220s, 230s, though, on the offer. So it's spreading out. That's the biggest thing here. When it spreads out by 9 to 10 cents, it's easy to get stopped out on the bid. And you just got to continue to watch it because it could just be trying to collect some volume to try to take out the ask and go higher. All right, what's up out there, guys? I am looking at a bubbly coffee. Bubbly coffee? We'll see. What are you looking at there? Mitch, what you think about AVTR? AVTR, let's take a look at that. All right, AVTR trying to recover 26 here on the daily. This had gone up there towards 28, pulled back on the 9, right? You guys know how I love the 9. And there it goes sideways off of that level. It didn't come back to this 24 support, and it started to work its way back above this resistance. So looking for undercut underneath that. So come back towards like 25.40s, 25.30s are what makes sense as you undercut this resistance, then use it to start making the move back to the upside. Right now, you're towards 26. I'd look for pullbacks towards this 25.60 and 25.50 area, because that could be that nice little area where you cut back into the pricing of Tuesday's action, and then you go right back up. So using the resistance there around the 25.60s and undercutting that and then going right back above. We'll see what happens on AVTR. Doesn't look too bad here on the hourly either. I could see this kind of pulling back and then getting the lift. If I look at the MACD also on the 15-minute, you can see how you crossed and you cross right back to the upside. You wouldn't want it to break, but you could see a pullback on a trend. And some people don't draw these, but MACD trend lines can actually work. So I'd look for this to pull back towards, let's say, 0.5 and then go higher. So a little bit of some retracement out the gates and then go higher is how AVTR looks on the MACD and different outlooks. And you can see right there, look how this just gapped down. Now it's down towards 25.41, and look how the MACD comes back towards that 0.5. So looking for that downside action to give you that opportunity here. And the spread is wide on this bad boy, but I did see the spread just jump down there towards 25.41. So got an opportunity there. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. If you guys got a name you guys are looking at this morning, we can definitely talk about it. There's RevB, guys. I was talking too much there. RevB down to the 215, about to get me out here, guys. At pretty much maybe 214. I'm not going to let it cut through that. You can see the under layer right there at the 214. That's how I use the layers here to take a look at this. If I see 214, I'm just going to hit it. It's definitely at a loss right now at the 217. I could have cut out, but I'm already there. So at this point, I can just hit a stop limit if I wanted to, which is going to probably get me hunted. I could just put it out there. But at this point, I shouldn't be in the name. And when I shouldn't be in the name, what do? You put the stop, let it work, see what happens. If I get cut out, I get cut out. The spread is widening too. Do you see it by 5? I could see this cutting by 6, and then I get cut out anyways. So I'm just watching it right now to see if I just cut it out. There's 215s. 213s. Yeah, I got to get out here, guys. You see the spread? You see I went by 8s? Right now, I feel like it's going to make the move right back towards the 14s. But the truth is that you got to be careful because this could easily go to $2. Now I'm down 128, pushing it a little bit there. In a second here, I'm just going to cut out there. I might have to cut towards the 210s. Spread going by 7. I'm looking for 21s to show up here, but I'm seeing nothing but 210s. 215s. No bigger orders coming back through the 220s is a negative sign. There's the 214s back. Now I need to see the 219 taken here and this going back to 218 or 219 if I want to stay in the trade. There's 217 on the offer. There's 210s hitting some stops. I'd be getting hit right now. So that's another thing to think about, right? I would have already gotten hit on the stop. All right, 928, guys. Got to be careful for the bell here and then a wipeout below this, right? So I'm just looking to see if I can get any type of bounce here back to the upside on RevB. Let me put the chart up here because you guys are not seeing the chart. There's that chart there. This is that third bottoming attempt, but we're getting it, and it's looking like it wants to break down here. So you can see how the trend line comes right into play right around here. We'll look to see if we get this up move off of this, but definitely looking like it wants to just break through that 210s. There's that breakdown towards the 209, now 205 showing up there. So just going to go ahead and get out, guys. Take the loss. It is what it is. Cut it out there, guys. Down to about 144 there on RevB to start it off. And taking a small hit here, guys. Going to shake it. Go get it, baby. Go get it. Overall, we're still up big for the week. And that's what I've been using to keep my mentality focused in every day. It's not a daily goal, a daily focus. It's a weekly one. And right now, we're still green for the week. Let's get after it, traders. Let's see what we can do today. All right, guys. So cut that RevB, and you can see it. It's right back up there. It could easily come back, right? I think that a lot of traders maybe can hold that there. Maybe should have cut it when it came back here towards the 240s. It didn't get back to the 244s, so it didn't get back to my break-even spot, and it's not looking the best there. So I'll be watching out the gates here to see what other ones I can maybe grab. BBAI definitely in play. A lot of these names, we'll just watch here how it trades out the gates. RevB down through the $2, so definitely did not want to get hit with that. Chewy with a little bit of a spike there. I'll tell you one thing. I haven't paid attention to Chewy in a long time, man. Long time. Slow internet for me right now, guys. I'm seeing it. My charts are kind of lagging a little bit. All right, RevB back towards 225s, 226, and actually starting to catch there a little bit. So has it worked its way back? Yeah, it's worked its way back, but it cut underneath $2. So there's no way I would have hung out for that. GXAI, we'll see what happens with this one today. Can it get the lift there? It's already lifting, guys. It's back to 262, pushing strong here. GXAI definitely on the radar here. Going to keep it on watch, guys. Definitely want to see what happens with this one. And Sound is another one that I'm watching here, guys. Nice little pop there above the 5. So with this one, I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback. Come right back here. Daily chart looking good here on this. Would like to see maybe 510s, 507 show up here on the pullback. And that's a great outlook for kind of a catch the longs here. Come back, actually go red for a second, and then take it higher. We'll see what happens there in Sound. All right, guys, let me go ahead and take down the gapper scanners here. You guys see the opening range momentum here. SDIG with the move there. That's a move above 510s, $5, holding well there. So the resistance was pretty well. We drew this up. We got to pull back. It didn't go to that bottom line, but it held on the top end of the range, broke above the 5. Not looking too bad there. What's up, FJF? What are we looking at? Let's get it. Baba, how's that doing there? Nice little move right out the gates there. We'll see if we get some little bit further pullback. ALZN going up there. We'll see what happens on this one. Biotech trying to get back through 5, just spiked to 530s. Then now pulling back here. We'll see what happens on this one. This one was up there to 13s just recently. Definitely slowing down though. Neon with a gap and a halt really quickly on this Neon. SMFL. This is back at the 230s. This had gone up there to the 280s because SMFL make another leap to the upside. Saunders Holdings getting a rip out, guys. Rip out in Saunders Holdings as you get a day 3 move back through the $7. And this is lodging. So look to see if maybe Hilton getting a lift today. Yes, it is. Marriott getting a lift today. Does that mean the cruise lines get a lift today? Not a bad one to look at, guys. Not a bad one to look at. NCLH, $16. Looks good here. We just got above the 16. Not looking too bad here in this NCLH to make a little bit of an up move here. Let's look at the hourly chart. Hourly chart looking good here to make a move back towards the 630s, 1630s. It's had a couple of down attempts there. Now reversing back up here. Got to be careful for a 1580s pullback, but still looks interesting here on this Norwegian cruise lines with the leisure making an up move today. Let's take a look at the change overall. What's doing well here? Healthcare out the gates is doing well. What's getting hit hard? Energy, consumer cyclical. Big hit there, guys. So the cyclical names, of course, you're talking more of your luxury goods, publishing, department stores. Taking a really hard hit here out the gates. You're talking your Macy's. Macy's going down, down, down. I talked about how Macy's could get down to 1550s today, maybe even further. It just hit there, and it's going down there now towards 1550s. I wonder how Dillard's is moving on this. Dillard's never goes down, guys. It just seems like this company never breaks. So I'm just looking at it right now. What about JWN, Nordstrom? Is that going lower? We'll see if we start to see some shorts in this space. Financials coming down, guys. So Goldman Sachs, we'll see if it takes another leg lower, right? JPM didn't break yesterday. Could start to break down today. We'll see what happens on that one. And that's kind of your bank given, right? If your banks start to break, I'll definitely be watching that action. Let's keep it going, guys. GDC here. GDC making a little lift to the 238s. This is just one that I see moving right now. GXAI is another one in the gaming space that I'm keeping a close eye on to see what happens with that, to see if we get a spike back to 3, and maybe it even takes off further than that. So I'll be watching that. NCLH, not looking too bad this morning. What are you guys looking at out there? Lot of trades going on out there, guys. Saunders now pulling back to the 690s. So that just got up to the 770s. What a move there, and right back towards the 680s here. So does it go right back through the 7s towards the 740s? I mean, you got a trade there at least, that's for sure. Resistance, prior support, 650s, right? Around the 655 area. So that's kind of like your breakout stage. You just pulled back to 659s. You're right back up to $7 there. So Saunders making the move there. SDIG now trying to break 5 here. Just was above towards 525. Pulled back, holding the 490s. Let's see if it takes another attempt through that high in the first spike. The first spike was 525. You're back through 510s. Can it get through the 525 spot on SDIG? RevB hung out at that $2, made a spike to 234s, and then just struggled. Tempest AI making a spot move towards 64s, had pulled back. Yesterday was all the way up there to $74. Is this the next move for Tempest AI? I've talked about how AI names are in the gappers, so this could see continued lift. We'll see if this keeps pushing, guys. Getting some alerts here, guys. So looks like BBAI starting to make a move. So I'll take a look at BBAI there. There as it goes towards the 190s here. BBAI trying to make it back to 2. I'll get after this, guys. Let's do it. All right, guys, just grab there at the 189 spot. Grabbed a good amount here, so I'm trying to risk off the 180s here. So quick risk here for a spike back through $2, going towards the 220s, maybe even 230s, 240s here. Let's see what happens here. First entry, 500 shares, BBAI. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, let's go, guys. Oh man, judgment nonstop. But we'll talk a little bit about that future day trade. No Victoria's Secret for us today. We'll see, Wisdom. There's 190s now, looking good here for the spike above the $2 spot here. Look at this big bid, 184. Pay attention to that. That's a big bid. It could pull back really quickly towards that, or it actually use that to break through the twos. Now we're going towards 194, looking good here, guys. Pull back to 190s could add here, but there you guys see it. 194s, 196. Let's see if we can get a quick spike on this to break through the $2, go towards the 230s, 240s. I could see that in work here. 225s around there, 228s. I could take the money. Let's see what happens here. Can we break the 2 spot? 190s on pullbacks, 184s is something to watch. Look at all the bids showing up here on the 187s, 185s, 183s. Those 10,000, that's algorithmic volume trying to catch it on the pullback. Look at the 185 now turned to 20,000 shares. So definitely be careful out there, guys. They're trying to catch some pullback and trying to catch some of those buyers out the gates here. We'll see what happens. Pullback could be towards 182 and 180 now that we're up there towards the 190. That's the VWAP pullback here. So just be careful out that. That could definitely happen just at any moment here. I'm just looking to see if the 190s holds and it breaks out to 2 and doesn't pull back to that 182. You can see it here. The orders are set there. The ladder is set there for it to pull back here. Just be careful out there, traders. There's the pullback into the 187s. Trying to collect some of that volume, right? Go towards that 183s, 180s. 195 being a little bit of a wall right now with that 20,000 shares just sitting there. All right, guys, we might get a little bit of a further pullback here. So now I just got to determine how I want to go after this, right? Do I want to add? Do I want to size down here? And the truth is, I feel like I jumped in a little bit big, but I was going for more of the scalp through 2. So keeping that in mind here and focusing in to see what happens here on BBAI. Really like to see this kind of resistance start to hold as support. That's that 183 here. So let's see what happens here on the action on the pullback. 90 MA right below it, 185s. Could see those 185s fill where that big sizing was. The next sizing is towards 181. So keep that in mind. That's the VWAP. VWAP is 182. We'll look to see if it goes back through 196 and $2 here on BBAI. There's 190 showing up again. Let's see if we can get this run to 2. SPY making a little bit of a push there towards the 560.10. I feel like a bullish day's in today. We'll see what happens. Looking around, guys, trying to catch some trades out there. If you guys see any moves out there that you guys want to talk about, throw them up in the chat. I'll be watching. How do you see that 20,000 buyer, Mitch? Well, I'm looking at the level 2s. So you can see it here, 195, 22,000, 198, 23,000 shares, just waiting there. So it's kind of like a wall that needs to be taken on the depth, right? So I'm using the market depth here to kind of point towards that. And that tells me more and more that BBAI it could not be the moment right now. And I think that that's what we need to kind of admit here. And looking at all the bidding action at the 181s, it could come down really quickly towards that 181. All right, pulling back to the 186 on the bid. Got to be careful here as you get a quick pull back to 181. Could easily happen here, guys. So just to kind of mention that, I'm trying to figure out, do I risk the $50 there? It's only at 100 on the breakdown of the 170, so we're still looking good on that action. That's why I'm staying in right now. It still looks good there for it to take the 190s. And then that 195, though, we're going to need to see some real big buying starting to show up here. So you see 5,000 share order here. That's the blue size. Purple is what I'm looking for here. There's purple, guys, and it was on the sell side. It was on sell, 20,000 shares at 187, 20,000 shares at 187 there. So 187 shares of just getting out. 40,000 shares. Somebody said, you know what? This is too much for me. I want out. I saw it go through there. Those are those purple orders. And you can filter this, guys. Just hit the little size filter here. That's how I'm doing it. And that's what I've been doing on the time and sales here. And I think it definitely helps out, team. If you guys don't use this, we can talk a little bit about this in a little bit. All right, what happened to Bullseye? Did they make it already? I don't know what happened to Bullseye, man. Bullseye is probably a little bit upset. I have a feeling that Mini kind of gave up already. And so Bullseye, I think, I wish them the best. I want them to do great. But I think the biggest thing is, you know how it is when you trade these smaller names and you keep making these big gains and then you can't do it in the real execution. That's very difficult to go through. All right, 190 by 189 showing up here. So let's see if we get the move now. I'm really looking for a push towards 195, and then I can start adding as it starts to try to break through the resistance and those big resistance that are waiting at the 195 and 198. All right, SDIG showing up there. Keys on the radar out there. Just taking a look out there. What's moving here? Out the open, what's moving in the market? I'm going to take a look right now, guys. What's moving? Ulta up 1%. And that's in retail. Looking at the oil names, what's up there? Not much. Let's take a look here from the open. What else is trading well? Looking at NVIDIA up 0.5% from the open. Not the biggest move there, but just going to continue to look around. What else is taking a move from the open here? BBWI and Chipotle up today. So Chipotle, good move there, guys. I would take a look at that Chipotle move. CMG moving well, just pulled back to the 52.55. We'll see if this can kind of get the lift there. Daily chart has a lot of bottoming action. Maybe this starts to reverse back to 54 today. Of course, restaurants have been doing a little bit better. I've been looking to see if Wingstop would make a move here. BBAI already making the move, though. Got to go focus on and nail this trade, guys. I would be talking other ones, but I'm here to trade, baby. Here to make that money. Let's go. 196 starting to show up by 194. So there's the wall now at 199. So pullbacks to like 190 could actually get me to add here. But you know what? Let's take a shot here in just a second here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stop limit order. I've talked about these orders before. We talked about them yesterday. So I'm going to do a stop buy limit order here at the $2 and then look to see if it can get a pullback entry at like 197. So I'm going to do like 300 shares. Not going to go crazy. So that's a stop limit at a buy. So what it would do is it would actually trigger a buy and put a limit at the 197. So here you guys have it. I show you guys the orders. I show you guys it all. Let's see what happens with BBAI here to see if we get the lift through and it actually goes through that too. If we start to pull back here, I don't even want to be in it towards 84s. So that's one thing that I'm also determining here. What's my real risk on the downside? It's only 25 bucks. So I'm just trying to see this rip through. And if it can't rip through, definitely don't want to get through it. 84s, it has the 187s, 185s that it needs to go through. So at this point, looking to see if this can just take off through the $2 spot. Tesla looking strong, just pulled back, now making an up move. Q's up move. I talked about it today. I feel like today's the day where we get up there towards the SPY resistance after yesterday bringing a little bearish outlook. I'm not even looking that bearish today. I'm looking for more bullish moves, and I'm seeing it right now in the Q's and the SPY staying strong. You guys out there, smash the like. You know where you're at. It's trade the pool, baby. Let's get after it, team. What do you guys got out there? All right, let me calm it down here. Let's take a deep breath and focus in. Let's nail it, guys. Let's be in execution mode and really trying to nail this out here. One thing's for certain, seeing some pullback around there. PL now pulling back to the 270s. So I got to go focus on the swing trade action things in just a second here. Getting the pullback there towards the 187. We could get a pullback towards this 183 here. I'm going to put it towards the 183. Could get stopped out at the 183. There you guys have it. Just pulled back. 183 stopping me out. And it doesn't mean that this BBAI is done. It just means that for the time being, I want to take a step out and then I'll get back in it if I need to. The setup is still there for the pushback through the $2 spot, but there's a lot of wall here on this name. And with that being mentioned, it's not getting the lift there that I wanted to see. So I'd rather get out there and I can get back in the name. Of course, this is the VWAP area. So you're going to get some buyers to maybe step up here at the 183s and start to take a little bit bigger of a shot there. I canceled my orders, so I'm fine with that. Now I need to go protect my swing trades, as that is looking like right there. Sark stopping me out there, $27. PL is one that I'm watching right now. Needs to start lifting off that 270s. Don't want it to start breaking that 270s. If it starts, I got to go ahead and let that go. All right, there. So I just set a stop there at 265 to make sure I get that gain there. XLU is struggling a little bit today. Let me see here, down about 0.23s, but now starting to reverse back to the upside. So I think we're looking good there. Just got to continue to watch this. Believe it or not, I have a stop in the green there for this. So I don't have to worry about that. I can just continue to work. We'll see what happens on some other swing trades. Now going back to the day trade action and seeing what I can find. SDIG, that's still pushing. That's still trying to push through that 530s. Did get through it, but now starting to turn around a little bit there. G-Tech, the one around the 250 spot. Sound back towards the 514s. Eventually, I think this could make a move there. Tempest AI pulled back towards the 6150s. We'll look to see what happens with that one. That one moves a little bit too much for me, but hey, to each his own, right? RZLV. Don't know this one, but man, it looks like it's halted a couple of times already, guys. What a move on this one. Oh, look what it is. It's Resolve AI Limited. Your boy, Money Mitch, was calling it this morning. There was something strange about all these AI names showing up on the Gapper scanner. Look at that rocket. 52%. Big move there. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, let's go. All right, what else is out there? What do you guys got out there? Taking CrowdStrike profits, closing the desk. What are you seeing out there, guys? Thought Bull was a guy. She's a woman. Laugh out loud. Huh? That's how it goes sometimes. That's why you can't know a name through a screen name, right? FJF, what's up, man? All right, let's get back to the action there. BBAI now holding in that pullback, now could still take the move. And that doesn't mean that I'm done with this trade, right? Just means that I was done for it in the time being. Took the $32 loss, can still get back in it for the spike through the $2. Doesn't mean that this is done. I'm just waiting for the reload. And you did get some reload there. Let's see if it really wants to make the move. It would start to hold this, maybe make one more attempt towards that 181, and then really start to get the move. There it goes back towards the 187. So it's definitely trying to get the move back towards 191. 191 is a big order there. And this is big orders all around, guys. I keep seeing these big orders. To me, this is super algorithmic volume in this name. These are the algos trying to take over. Buying power not working. 28th in the rev in the queue. The buying power is something that I'll definitely have to start getting addressed, guys. I'm always for you guys. I'm always going to battle for you guys. I'm with you guys at the end of the day. You guys see me trading it. Not having an issue on my side, but hey, I know how that can cause issues and can cause you guys to kind of focus on that. So, hey, to each his own, man. Let's see what happens today. AI, C3 AI, trying to make a move here. I actually don't mind to maybe take a trade in a different AI name today and just focusing on it, because it seems like that sound, at least that BBAI is just being traded by the algorithms, and I'm just trying to focus to see where I can actually make the money. So this would be a recovery going back through, let's say 2490s, going towards the 25s here. Doesn't look too bad as it starts to hold here. We'll look to see if it recovers through 2480s and gets through that 25 spot. Not a bad one there is AI by itself, right? Just AI, C3 AI. GTI, of course, this thing making a big push here, guys, towards 355. Just pulled back there, gave you a nice opportunity off the 320s, and it's right back towards the 360s. So if you were able to grab that graph jet, hey, shout out to you. Nice trade there. Neon just went from a hold, went to 420s, pulled back towards the 370s, now back above the 4s here. Will it take the 420s? Just keep it riding. Neon. Buy coming down a little bit there. Chewy hot today, guys. That's actually doing pretty well. Target on the downside now. So just to mention that. METC. Coal players making a move today, guys. I see BTU showing up there. HCC is one that I'd look at on this pullback. Just went up there to 6150s. What a move there, guys. We're getting a big day in coal. Coal was up there towards 62, but this could just be in kind of a fade off of this level, or will we come right back towards the 62s today? I mean, it's interesting there, guys, especially on this HCC. It's a harder one to go after because of the spread. The spread is wide on this bad boy, about 50 cents. But I've seen this name go right back to the upside before, and that's a big move if it can make it. RevB woke up. Yeah, RevB woke up, guys. So it's starting to make its move off the bottoming action there. It was a 220 recovery. 220 recovery is interesting to look for on the pullbacks there. We just went towards the 245s. Now we're getting a little bit of a push here. Let's see if they really want to take it through the 245. That's the level where I was long, remember? So that's where I'm going to be looking at here. Well, can this get back to 3? Yes, it could definitely get back to 3. 375 even available to it. RevB, we'll see if it reloads at 220s. That's the area where I could see some traders buying it again. And then it comes back up through the 245. If it cuts down here towards like 205, yeah, I'd want out of it anyways. AI already making that lift towards 2480s. That's actually not a bad one to maybe take a trade, a smaller trade to see if it just continues to run today. Of course, a lot of AI names showing up there. So just got to consider it here and maybe just go after it with a small size to see if it can make a bigger run. It's nothing that I'm seeing out there, but I'm seeing the trend today of AI, and that alone is enough, right? That alone is something to look at. So I'll take a little trade here since I've been talking about it so much, man. I really don't mind this one. So let's go ahead. I'm getting a nice little pullback opportunity here. I'll take it right there. So just grabbed a little bit there, 200 shares, nothing crazy, guys. Just trying to get a little bit of a starter here and risk down about 30 bucks here to see if it can really make a move above the 25s. I'll risk 32. Just put it down there towards 24.61, and we'll see what happens on this one. Going back to some other names out there. Let's go. Neon. Just held that $4 spot. Could make another move. I've seen this Neon run before. So let's see what happens on the daily. Daily always has pops and drops on this thing, but there's a gap to fill. It already kind of went to that spot where it was a 420s. But the next layer from that could be 450s. We'll look to see if it makes another run towards the 450s. Neon. All right, looking around, guys. HCC. We'll see what happens with that coal player there. AA, Alcoa, how's that doing today? Not the best there. Up from the open, you only have healthcare and defensive names. So defensive names not looking too bad. TSN was on the playbook, but Money Mitch missed it, guys. I got to keep more eyes on the playbook names, guys, because sometimes I just miss these. Of course, Tyson was on the playbook, and look at Tyson go, baby. Let's go. Dole was another one to mention to keep a close eye on for. We'll look to see if this gets a move back up, but maybe even ADM gets to push today. Boom, there you guys have it. Looks like the defensive names getting a nice little push, a sneaky little rotation to these defensive names. So maybe Procter & Gamble on a day like today. And look at that, back towards 171. So definitely this is one that I'm missing out on, guys, a trade that I definitely talked about. And that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. Definitely something that I would take a look at today. Clorox, of course, I've talked about that one last week. Look how this one's actually taking off now. I was so mad when Kramer started to get it because that made me not want it. But defensive names actually doing pretty well there. Now I'm starting to get AI to go in my favor. I'm going to look to see if this can make a move back towards like maybe 25.50s, 26 today. A bigger move, right? At this point, I'm just looking for it to get to 25. And then eventually I'll set a break-even stop on this. Just letting it work here. We'll see what happens. Sound now back towards the 520s. And this one could run. This one has a nice daily chart. I like the chart. I like the way things are looking in Sound. So BBAI could also make the move now as I start to see other AIs really showing up on the scanners. I could see this one make the move through $2 here. So let's go trading some AI names today. I got no problem with this. BBAI could make the push through $2 here now. Of course, it's been trying to build and get that push. The breakout's going to be quick. I don't think it'll be too big. Maybe it goes to 230s, 240s. So just keep that in mind. That it's going to be a quick risk to return here. We'll see what happens here in BBAI and other names in the AI space. I do think that that's a play today. Tempest AI back above the VWAP, right? Maybe you get a pull back here to 62. The 62.50s, and this could run back on the hourly. Look at this. That could be a run back to $70, right? So I'd look for the pullback to 62 here. That's what makes sense for me on Tempest. You know what? I haven't gone for Tempest once. It's a very hard trade because of the spread. Let's take a look at it today. Let's see if I can get a pullback back here towards 62, and then I have to start risking off of like 61.20. So you got to understand the risk, but interesting stock to play today. Tempest AI. BBAI still getting the moves where it's trying to get through that $2 spot there. Keeps failing. At some point, you're looking for a big volume candle to really kind of push it through. 10,000 shares going through there at the 89. So you're still chomping between the algos right now. Neon holding that $4, just pulled back there towards the 398s. Got a nice looking chart here. Just could maybe pull back into the 88s, 89s. But then if it comes back through 4, it's going to be looking pretty good here for the next breakout here. We'll see what happens there in Neon. Let me take a look at this one. Q's going higher. Q's pushing strong there, guys. So there you guys have it. Big push there in the Q's and the SPY. That's going to help some names start to lift. So doesn't look too bad there to start to see some strength come in here. Let's see here. Neon. Do I want to maybe take this one? I kind of like it. I can see that spike through 4 and then it really goes. The big thing here is the 10,000 at the 390s. So the 390s are trying to get filled, and the market maker could go after that 390s because it's just sitting there. So this makes sense to maybe do one more little pullback action where it creates a high here, then pulls back to this 380s and then really rips through the 4s. So I'll look for that. The little pullback here, back into this 380s, then back through 4, just because it has that size there that it could come after. If not, the pull is right through 4, right? So there's 2 plays there to play. Gutbacks showing up on the scanners. That's an interesting one. Of course, we saw this one rip up all the way up to $10. It's finding a little bit of love today as it just started to rip there. It went from 550s up to 690s. Could pull back to 620s here. Of course, GovX does have a little bit of a spread, not the biggest spread. So, hey, that actually not looking too bad there. Chewy's strong today, guys. That's about to break 27. So just to kind of mention the name that I have seen move. WENA. I saw that one. Hasn't really started to move back, but I did see that one this morning. WENA. AI, at least C3 AI, still looking pretty good here on this one. I could add on this one. This is kind of one of those boring ones that I feel like is going to make me some money, but I'm just going to leave it 200 shares. Maybe make $200 on it. GDC, that one's still just kind of chomping around at that. SDIG still trying to make that up move, but it's not doing it. At some point, this one actually might be a little bit of a fade. Clean Spark, what's that one doing? It did push there towards the 1190s, now pulling back here towards the 1175s. 1170s might be the play here. I actually like this. It just holding the 1174s. It looks like it could take the 12s and go higher here. Definitely been waiting to try to play these and kind of keeping it steady here. Talked about how it could make this move to 1050s and maybe make the lift off of that. Really could take back 1250s. So if you're looking for some upside potential, there is some upside potential on this. I kind of like it as it starts to pull back and starts to go for the 12 push. Let's take a look at Clean Spark today. All right, guys, I'm going to take a little bit of a shot here on Clean Spark to see if this can really start to move. It could go back to the 1170s here as a VWAP attempt here. So that's what I'm really looking at. Let's go to the 5-minute here. 5-minute has a trend line here that could come back towards this 1170s. So you can see here, this is what I'm looking at. So I would like for it to come back into this spot here, then make the lift here. So 1173s. 1173s, it went to 1174s. Maybe we get 1172s or 1171. That's really what I'm looking at now. It'd be another 5-minute candle going lower and then getting the next move. So right now it's at the 1180s. We'll see what happens. It's not a bad one to watch for it. 1170s. I'll go ahead and I'll just put 100 shares there just to see if I can get a starter there on the pullback. So got the order out there. Could just go after this 1180s, but looking for a little bit further pullback. Try to get that nice entry. You see how it came back here towards the 74s. If it could pull back one more time to the 72s, I'll take the shot. There it goes to the 88s. It could just take 12 here and go higher, guys. If it does take the 12 and just goes higher, hey, I missed it. AI itself is looking good there too. It's trying to go through that 87, trying to make a break through the 25s. We'll keep a watch on that. Soundhound now going through the highs, now towards 520s. This one actually is an interesting one for a swing trade that it could actually push back up there, go to 6 today, maybe even further, right? So on the swing trade side of things, it's not a bad looking play, right? It's not something that I think about always, the Soundhound AI, but I mean, definitely seeing a trend today and these AI names. BBAI still just chomping around that 187. Neon pushed through that 4 and then going to the 430s. So looked like the trade was there, right? I stuttered a little bit there at the 398s. 398s was right here. It was just chomping out of nowhere, boost to 430s. So looking good there in that Neon. Maybe you get to 450s. Doesn't look too bad. Nice little move there in Neon. Seeing these coal players, seeing that they're going to make another move to the upside, but market overall pretty strong today. The Q's pretty strong. We'll see if this turns, but right now, pretty strong morning. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. RR on your robotics play ideas. They had news and they get invested in. Yeah, I think we're seeing the AI conversation out there. RR, that rich robotics. Serve, what's Serve doing? Is Serve going to have a good day today? Could do it. We'll look to see if Serve makes another move up. I'll keep a watch on it. Oh, looks like I already got an alert at 12. So I'll wait for 12. Really show me that he wants to move. GDS. This one ripping, guys. Ripping. GDS Holdings. Man, what a move there. What a move here, guys. This is a little extended. Hendricks. Let's go. This one's extended, but boy, oh boy, what a rip out there, guys. 1, 2, three rips. I'm looking for one more attempt to rip out. And then this could actually be a fade right back towards the VWAP. What a crazy stock this one is. Woohoo. This thing is just ripping. Could keep going, could pull back to the 14s. So big stock here, GDS. Target heading down there, got now down to the 162. Of course, this was up big, so Trump media moving today, guys. Toll Brothers going higher, man. The housing, residential construction. ITB talked about how that could start to see a lift because of the interest rate conversation, and that is seeing a lift. So taking a look at what's doing well there today. Toll Brothers, Dream Finders Home, DFH. Don't know this one, but I can tell you right now, it's a home builder. And that right there is getting a nice little lift. DHI also getting a lift today. Lennar getting a lift. So KB Homes getting a lift there. Definitely some plays out there to catch. Car, I've talked about this one. Off the 69. Carrier Global, right? Your air conditioner. It looks like it wants to go through 70. Doesn't look too bad on the day already. Pulling back to the 69.09, was just up there to 69.40s. So not a bad one to maybe play on the day is Car. I don't play this one often, but I can tell you right now, building materials stock doesn't look too bad. Up one, down one, up two, down two, up three. Just made a pullback. Could pull back towards the 69 overall and then make the move, but back through 69.30s towards the 69.40s. Could make a run to 70 today. Not a bad approach here on a stock here. BLDR is another one I'd look at in this space. Building materials. We'll see if they get the lift today. Not a bad name right now. This was just up there to 167, trading at 166.40s. Could go to 166 on a pullback and then take the 167. Not a bad one there. Goldman Sachs down, down, down she goes. The financials cracking today, guys. And I'm not in it. I'm just watching it. But XLF, really nice trade there on the downside. JPM was one that I was waiting to see if it would crack today. It is starting to crack. It didn't do a big breakdown, but it just hit the VWAP there. Watch for potential fading action off the SPY today. Right now, the SPY is kind of slowing down, but the financials are the ones that are on the downside right now. If I look at from the change from the open, though, I'm starting to see some things starting to move back into the green. Defensives are back into the green. Utilities are back into the green. Real estate and industrials. So if I want to take a look at one that could start to make the move higher, I take a look at Deere. Deere moving higher, trying to make the run to 400 is going to be important to keep a close eye on. And in the industrial space, Paccar, right? Will that make the lift today with Deere? I'll be keeping a close eye on them. AI just pulling back off that 24.88. We'll see if this one actually wants to make a move today. It's not doing much, guys. It's pulling back. Now I'm down a little bit there, but just keeping a close eye. BBAI still just hanging out. Now going for that 190. Now getting some volume in here. Let's go back to BBAI. I forgot about it for a little bit here. Let's see if we can get it and really get that push through $2 now. All right, guys, just grabbed a little bit there at 192s. I'm about to add and take a shot here. 193 is starting to go there, so looks good there. I'm just looking for the slight dip down. See if I can get here 191s to show up on the offer. Taking a shot here, guys. BBAI going right back to it, looking for the breakout above 2. SPY going for another push here, guys. So if you're looking at some tech names or things like that that are moving to the upside, let's see if we get another push here. CMG doing well today. Ulta doing well today. The consumer area definitely doing well also. So TSN, I'll be looking for pullbacks, but that did really well. Hard to keep your eyes on all of them, right? That's for sure. Here's 191 showing up there for BBAI. Now's my shot to take the ad and then go for the shot here. All right, guys, I'm taking my shot there. Now I got 1,000 shares here, 192. Let's see if this can really make them run now through 2 and 230s. Would really like to see it go to the pre-market high. That's 218, and I think it could go higher than that. So just looking for it to start making the drive now. Let's see if we get it. RevB showing up there also. That's starting to make the drive through the 240s. I've talked about how that can make a run to $3, 350s. Now it just made the move above the 240s. I'd maybe risk off the 230s here to take a shot there. 220s was the re-add, and that's exactly where we got the re-add. So let's see now if it wants to make the move off of this push. So RevB can take a shot on that one too. All right, just grabbed a little bit there at the 248s. Willing to add another 100 at like 238s. There it goes to 255. So that's looking good there. BBAI, I need to go focus on that. All right, RevB looking pretty well here as it starts into the 250s. We'll look for it to try to get me my ad fill. We'll see if it gets that ad fill. BBAI starting to see lower bids here now and the big offer. So the big thing for RevB is also a wall at 260. So 260 big wall, 42,000 shares there at 260. So it needs to take 260 on RevB to really get going there. If it takes 260, it could really just start moving. SPY pulling back there. Will mentioned that, so be careful out there, guys. BBAI just not wanting to do it, man. This one might cost me another trade here, and it's a lot of the algorithmic volume just going back and forth, so it could cut down here back towards the 180s, and I definitely don't want it to cut through the 180s. So at that point, just got to establish the risk here. Risking about 120 here on BBAI. And this is one of those that the algos are just holding it up, man. So at this point, it should have gone through that breakout. I failed there on cutting out there early enough. So now I'm just holding within the pattern, but you had the pattern there. The pattern was to break out at that 194. It failed. Clean Spark giving me an entry here, guys. So I just got one entry there on Clean Spark. I got to continue to watch it here to see what happens, but definitely first entry here on. Now I want to start taking a look to see if maybe I get one more entry here, but not a bad little first entry there in Clean Spark. Maybe a click here towards the 70s or the 65s. Just got cut out there in BBAI, man. Taking a hit today, guys. 125 on that BBAI. Now really costing me here on this. So I'm still going for this Clean Spark trade. I really like the trade here. So I just added there another 200. Now I got 200 shares here. Could add some more, but since I still got some other trades on there, I'm just trying to focus in and just stick it to that. AI there, definitely on the pullback. Got to continue to watch that. I'm literally 2 cents away from getting stopped out on that AI. So if AI stops me out, hey, so be it here. We'll put to the 59s here to give myself a little bit of some change here. RevB, I need to go focus in on. Taking some shots today, guys. Down about 314. Definitely need to start to manage it here. But taking still some shots here. Took another hit there on the AI, another 39 down, so down 350. Now I just have RevB and Clean Spark. Clean Spark down to the 1165s there. All right, watching Clean Spark drop here, thinking about adding one more time here and then looking to see if it turns back to the upside. All right, just put out one more ad there for Clean Spark. I'd have 300 shares and then I'm set there. RevB trying to get through that 250 there. So that's going to be the shot there on RevB. $235 on the pullback could happen there on RevB. So that's why I'm taking it easy right now. Eventually I'm going to add to this, but just trying to take it simple right now. All right, what's up out there, guys? How you doing? What are you guys taking a look at? What are you trading out there? Let me know. All right, Q's pulling back there, and the SPY made a hard down move, but now catching a little bit of a bounce. We'll see if this actually starts to create a real leak, or do we get another push up? Of course, there's RevB now starting to get going. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take a shot for the 160, the 260 ad there. 260 is a little bit of a wall there. I'm trying to see if it can go through that 260. If it does break through that 260, we could really start rocking and rolling. Let me actually wait for that to hit first before I start getting too big. Clean Spark did hit my ad at the 163. So at this point, I can start to create the risk and return here and make sure that I keep it small right now because I am down big. So 1155s on the out. I'll put 54 here. Give myself a tiny bit here to see if Clean Spark just comes right back up. Back through the 1170s is what I want to see. I want to see this candle go from red to green. Opened at 1189. Needs to clear that. Oh, 1170. Right back. Then it goes green candle. Right back up towards the 1190s and 12 takeout. Looks good. I'm in at 1170s. I could even add another 100 shares here. Looks good. RevB, I'm going to go over to that one as it's hitting the 260 right now. Can it take out that 260? It just took him out. Just took him out there. Now I'm going to add at 260s. Looking to add at 260s here. Might get actually lower than 260. Ooh, it's starting to jump up here. Starting to jump there. I got ladders out for pullback. No pullback just yet, guys. Look at this thing go now. Now we're breaking through 3 here, guys. Look at that thing. That looks like a halt waiting to happen there. I'm going to add here, trying to get in it. There you go. I added there. Added some there. Getting the halt now, guys. I'm up there towards what? 278 with 200 shares now. Definitely wanted to add at that 260 though. Was a little slow there, guys. I should have been able to add there. I will tell myself like, hey, I'm always critical, guys. I'm always straight up with you guys. Should have been able to add another 100 shares there. And was a little bit slower towards the add there on than the other trades. And that's actually costing me here. So got to be alert on that, but it's in a good direction, right? RevB starting to rip there towards the 309. First halt could just open up at like 330s and go to 350s, 360s. So if that happens, hey, that's not too bad, right? That's still $200. We can bounce back here, guys. Let's see what we can do. Buy right back up. Q's right back up. There's Clean Spark starting to move into my direction. So I kind of like this trade now. And now I got to go ahead and step up here. All right, just added there on Clean Spark, trying to get this to get back through it. Now I'm holding towards closer towards that kind of 365 bottoming that we just got. Want to see this get back through 12. Let's go, Clean Spark. Let's make a nice little rip to the upside. Let's go. How's Riot doing? Right, it's starting to make the move towards the 824. Mara had just recently pushed towards the 1710s. So it looks like I'm not the only one looking at this trade. Let's see if it works out now. I did see other kind of names in the past that we're talking. Kind of the Bitcoin names were showing up there on the scanners. So that's another reason why I'm going after these right now. Here's GTI, guys, off that 315. Still actually looked interesting there. The only thing about this one is the spread is a little wide there for a $3 stock, but could make it back to the 360s here. It is recovering. We'll see what happens there. Clean Spark is one that I got to focus on. Let's go take into focus here and see if it can really start making the move. Nice little pullback, was just recently up to that 1195s. Could take out 12 here if it really gets moving. SMFL killing it. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Boom. Chris S. Get that money, baby. Take it, baby. Take it. I saw you, Jose. You were real quick mentioning it. There's a big wall at that 260 that we took it out, man. Clean Spark not wanting to get the jump just yet. Keeping a close eye on it, guys. Ooh, hard candle to the downside there. So risking about $38 on this right now. It's not an insane risk right now. I'm just trying to keep it simple, within reach. Once we go through 12, I could even add to this name. Let's take a look there at that SMFL. In a second there, RevB will open, and I got to be paying attention to that, so I will set the stop there on Clean Spark. Would love to see it already towards 1180s because that makes it a lot easier to set a stop. But watching it right now, let's go to that SMFL. SMFL back down towards $2 there. We'll see what happens with this one. Does it go right back to the upside, or does it keep fading all day? Next layer on the downside is 165, 170. That's where I could see it going to, but we'll see what happens on that one. SDIG, I talked about how 5 rejected there. Now it's starting to come back down. Will this one make it back to 4? I feel like it could. Neon. Made it up there to 440s, 450s. I kind of had that feeling. That's where I was looking at it. At the 398, I could see 430s, 440s being available to you. You got it. At that point, I wouldn't be too greedy on it. But hey, to each his own if you want to take your money and run. EOSE, this is another one in the $2 spot that I've seen make a move before. We'll see if it makes a move. Look at FFIE even moving today. Look at that, guys. So you know you're getting your kind of squeezes when this happens. $3 to 341. FFIE making a little bit of a push there. All right, that's an interesting one to see there move. DNA, another one, right? You're seeing all like kind of those like kind of little crappy growth names making a big move, right? So just be careful out there, guys. But Clove is another one that's been one of those names that have been hot as of late, and it's continuing a strong move here. So definitely you're seeing a little bit of a trend there. DDS, that's trying to take 1550s. I talked about how that one was slowing down a little bit earlier and it had made like 1, 2, 3, 4 moves and then fails. Trying to make this move back towards the 1550s and go higher. I feel like this could pull back to the 1450s from this level, and I could risk towards 1570s. It's not a bad short here to look at GDS for a short, but I got enough trades on right now. If I wasn't red 355, I'd probably take this trade. Let's just be honest. I'd probably short this right now off the 1570s, or maybe trying to short into the 1550s, 1560s here, and then get that. Let's go back to RevB, as RevB will be opening up any moment now. Got to focus in here as when this opens up. Got to be ready to go here. All right, clean spark back into the green for me towards the 1170s. I'm going to give it the chance now. Now I set the stop towards the 1160s. Really want that to get going back towards the 1180s. But if it doesn't make the move, like always, guys, got to be able to and willing to cut it. As I get closer and closer towards my max loss in the day, what I try to do is I try to keep the risk small, give myself the potential to come back. But if it doesn't happen, right? That's just life. RevB, we'll see when this opens up, guys. It's been going sideways now for a little while now, longer than I expected. It's been halted now since 10:21. Are we going to get a 10-minute halt here? Yeah, I think we might get a 10-minute halt. So it might open up at the 10:31 for RevB. No opening price just yet. I'll be keeping a close eye on it. Clean spark getting down off of my stop right now. Looking to see if this could just start to drive back on the 15-minute. Don't want to see this go towards a red candle. Want to see this close a green candle. Next candle start to go back towards that 1180s and 85s. Taking a look around, what else is making a move today? Of course, I talked about TSN on the playbook. It's right back towards that level. So if I want to get after TSN, this is the spot for me to go ahead and get it on an hourly pullback towards 62.50s for the move back through 63.20s. So really not a bad outlook there. That's kind of more of a defensive outlook. If we start to see continued downside, this could be a play. Not a bad move there. Double bottom off the 62.50s. So somewhere into 62.55s kind of makes sense there. On the 5-minute, pull back towards that level, 55s, 50s. Looks good for it to start coming back there. TSN. Clean spark back towards the 1175 here. Now I'm looking for the 1180s to start showing up. And then once it hits the 1180s, I want to see a ramp up of speed through the 12. All right, what's up out there, guys? Seeing some issues with some buying power out there right now, John. So it looks like some people are having some issues with some buying power. Hey, hang in there. Reach out to us. We're really trying to get things back. And like always, we're always trying to make things steady in the platform. We'll keep it going, guys. I'm being able to do all the trades that I want to do, the buying power that I need. So if you guys are struggling out there, keep it going. Keep battling out there. Like always, be protective. On a day like this, if things are just not working, well, it's okay to also take a day on the sideline. Q's topping out a little bit there, guys. Got to be careful with that slow down there in the Q's, right? So right now it's still holding in, and I'm not saying it's turning down, but definitely something to look at. Lulu, remember I was talking about Lulu could make the move with Ulta, with Ulta's mentioned, and it could fill the gap. Well, there it is, guys. It's already filling the gap today. Really nice move there in Lulu. So Lulu pull back to 266. Would be something that I would look at for a swing trade. Looks pretty good, actually. We'll see what happens on that one. Clean spark back towards the 1175. It keeps holding in here, but not wanting to make the move. So at this point, I can go ahead and start tightening down, right? Because a pushback through the 1164 would get me out of that. So I don't even need to risk towards the 64s. Can risk off the 60. Don't need to risk off the 60. Can risk off kind of more the 64s here. We'll see if this pushes through the 80s. RevB should be opening up in 1 minute here. Let's see what happens. There's RevB, guys. RevB, man. What a move there. All right, guys. I'm going to the 350s here. Trying to sell some here. All right, guys. Just sold some there. Got at the 330s. It was all the way up there to 380s. I had to sell some, guys. I was up big and should have been able to kind of get some more size out there. But what a move there, guys. What a move there. I just wanted to make sure I paid myself some cash. Now I can just let this break even and let this run. If it really wants to run back there, take another stop. Like, hey, by all means, right? At this point, I'm setting a stop at 255 and hands off. Hands off. Did I want to take some trade there towards like the 380s? I saw even 383 show up there. I don't see 383s here. So definitely seeing a little bit of discrepancy there. I got 255 for the stop out on the remaining 100 shares. We'll see what happens. Was able to get 154 back there. And now just letting it work here, guys. I could take the 30 here, but that's not what's going to give it to me, guys. It's going to be a move back there towards the 350s. And the truth is, we could have got a big seller there and it could not come back. So I'm glad that I at least was able to take some profits there at the 330s, and it was moving all around there. So I just had to mark it out and take the cash. Definitely won't let myself lose there. So it comes back and stops me out, then goes back to 3. So be it. I don't want it to come back to the VWAP. If that does do that, it could mean that a big seller sold out. Clean spark. Let's go. What a move there, guys. Yeah, a lot of data providers have been struggling lately, man, and that's a frustrating thing, right? So I know how that feels, guys. It's not fun to deal with frustrations with programming. So, hey, hang in there, guys. Hang in there. A lot of brokerages seem to be having some issues here. Now that it hit the 1180s, I really shouldn't even break the 1170s here on Clean Spark. So I'm looking at it as maybe tightening down the risk here. There's really no need for it to be that much of a risk here now. I'm going to set the risk there at 67s. Don't even want to see 67s hit here. Should have taken the 1180s, but I'm seeing the Qs turn around there. Big red on the Qs there is a little bit scary. That tells me go look at those pullback opportunities like Tyson. So Tyson is one that I had, of course, on the radar here today. I'm going to actually probably get after Tyson right now. All right, the starter here is 62.60, and then the ad is 62.40s. Kind of like it here. Risking about 20 to 40 bucks if I take it here. So I like that little dip right now that I'm getting. Opportunities to get into the 50s and the 40s would be really nice here on Tyson. Talked about how 55 meant a good spot there for Tyson a little bit earlier. A lot of big wicks on the Qs on that downside move, and I'm looking to see if the SPY also starts to show some weakness. Or are we going to go back through that and just shake it, shake it? That's the way it can be there, guys. RevB moving all around, guys. I'm still in that one, 100 shares. I could kind of keep an eye on both of these right now. I'm trying to look all around here and make sure that this could get right back up towards the 350s. I had even 380s show up on one of my platforms here. So it's a little bit confusing, that RevB action out of the gates there, out of the halt. That thing was up there towards 350. It opened at 338s. So, hey, was a little slow to take the cash there. Really should have been able to take a little bit more towards the 200. But, hey, not going to complain. Just going to keep battling, guys. Battle's on. The battle's on. Clean Spark. What's up with that one? Holding in on that pullback to the VWAP. So now I wouldn't even want to see that low broken. It went to the 71s, holding well. It could come right back to 62 and 60, but I want out at that point because it breaks down through that 1160. So now through that 1180s is really what I'm looking for. Back through the 1190s, through 12, and then I take some profits at 12, and then look for this to actually run on the day, going back towards 1240s and 1250s, but it has to get that push now. If not, the takedown comes in. Could get a move right back towards 67 here, guys. So there's the test there. It's going to come in for it. It's trying to hit my stop there. So I'm going to go a little bit further down towards 65 here, but definitely could trigger me out here, guys. So just be careful out there. I'm actually going to get ready to sell it on kind of a manual sell. Don't want to get stop hunted here for the 65. So now I have it ready to go, mark it out if I need to. I'm just looking at it here to see if it holds this support. If it can hold this support, it's fine. If it breaks that and starts to the trend line, that's when I got to get out. Hold this 1170. That's where I'm in anyways. Neon. Who's a country music fan out there? Let me know, guys. What's the volume rule? Stuck now. How long does it say stuck for the Qs? I'm not sure. Honestly, Daniel, those are kind of issues that I really can't solve for you. As you guys know, I'm a trader here. I'm trying to trade, not customer service, unfortunately, but reach out to our customer service team. I know they're working on things right now. Steph, great channel to learn, Mitch. Blew up a demo account. Haha. Deserved that. It is what happens when you go for the home run. And 100%, Steph. And I think that we take a look at this and realize that at the end of the day, we can't let one trade make us or break us. Two different ways. I'm not going to let one trade be the thing that blows up my account. And I'm also not going to let one trade make my account, because if I don't get into that position, it's just going to keep me from blowing up. And the first rule is not blowing up, man. It's like the first rule in Fight Club. Yeah, the first rule in trading is not blowing up. The second rule is not blowing up, team. All right, there's back into the 1180s. Looking good for the 1185s to start to run higher and then go towards that 12. If I can get that run to 12, I'm looking great in this, baby. Let's take a look at RevB. I'm looking at that right now. The pullback is trying to get me, guys. It seems like it's just trying to come back and get me here. I'm giving it a chance to catch some buying, but I don't think it's going to, man. I think it just got sold into that first move, and that's where it gets difficult. Could hit the 268. 90 in May is really what I'm looking for it to hold, the 270s, but 255s hit, and I'm out. Pretty much setting it right at my break even. Q's just ripped, guys. Q's just ripped. Look at this, guys. Look at that shakeout, guys. So Soxel, boom. Let's go for I could go for a scalp there. You got to be quick when you go for these scalps. I'm not going for the trade, but like literally I'd hammer it right there. 4140s. Looking for the 4150, 4160 push for a scalp, right? Or you can look at maybe TQQQ, right? And you're looking at that as a scalp opportunity, right? 72s, 7190s. Makes sense for me there. SPY, look at the SPY, big push up there. So nice little breakout move. That's going to help your stocks that were strong today continue to be strong. Ulta, continuing to be strong. Lulu, we'll look for that to continue to be strong, right? Hey, not a bad move there now. And now Clean Spark actually looks better that the Qs are making the up move. So let's see if that can continue to run. See if you get some other names that continue to run off of this now. GTI, interesting one that could push through the 330s, keep going higher. Clean Spark, not looking too bad. 1180s, looking for this to take out the 1195s and really go higher. Riot, let's see if these start to make a move. Mara, back up towards the 17, could take out the 17 and go higher. Not looking bad in these names here. Fubo actually doing well today? Nah. BBAI broke down after that, man. Glad I got out of that bad boy. That thing cost me today, guys. But hey, that's how it goes. Can't win them all. Sound off the 520s. We'll look to see if that gets another move to the upside. And AI stopped me out, guys, and then made the up move. You see that? That's how you get. This was a little bit of a hunt. Off this 58, I was at 59, guys. So it just got me out at the bottom end of that one on C3AI, and it's back to 2490s. I think this could go through 25 today and make a move to 26. I got out of it, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes, team. That's all you can do. You can just keep trying, guys. ZEP showing up there, guys. Electric vehicles. So ZEPP. It's a health corporation one. 72 cents. Trying to make a little bit of a lift there. We'll see if that one makes a run there towards 80 cents maybe. RevB, it's trying to come and get me, man. It's trying to come and get me. It might actually come on a down halt now, guys, but RevB is definitely difficult here off the 270s. It's crazy how that thing ripped through the 260s. That big buyer stepped up there. It ripped through that, went up towards the 350s. Man, I wish I would have got a little bit more out there at the 331s. Maybe even the full 300 and just taking that out there. Wasn't a bad one there. But hey, that's how it goes, guys. Clean Spark. Can you do it? Can you make the move now? Went towards the 1185s there. Started to slow up there. Q's, man. Q's just ripping, guys. Ripping. That's probably going to change the tune of technology going towards red. You can see how this is 0.36, 0.27 down. this could actually start making an up move. Donald Trump making a move today. DJT towards 23.25 and keep pushing. Not a bad one to keep an eye out for. It's having a good day there. We'll look to see if it gets to 23.50s here and goes a little bit higher, bouncing after really a pretty tough time there for that trade. RVB going back down right there, right off the entry here. About to stop me out here, guys. I'm literally 1 cent off the stop out here. And it starts to come back. We'll see what happens on that RevB. I got it set up there, so I'm not stressing it at all. But boy, oh boy, was that a rip and then a fail on the breakout. It could have gone through the breakout, through 376, and it could have gone to 4, and we would have had all our money back on the day. Clean spark. Let's go. Let's go. Break that 85. Let's go for that 12 run. Q's just pushing there, guys. Pushing. SMH, look at that breakout there, man. Big push there. SMCI continuing to push there. AMD pushing strong there. Even Tesla, I think, is just going to make a little bit of a drive now. It's helping it. Look at Lucid moving today. FFIE. All these kind of scalp type of names really kind of making a move out there today. Even FFIE, that just goes to show you guys. We'll see if this can continue to lift there. Will this make another run towards the 340s, 350s? I don't know. The market is looking really bullish right now. We'll see if it changes tune. I'm just staying in clean spark right now because that's actually doing me pretty well. But battling on the day, guys, today is one of those days where you got to keep the battle on. Stay sharp out there, traders. Stay sharp. GDC, a little pop there into the 350s, closer towards the 4. Quick move there, and quick move right back down. Neon looking like it wants to take another moment higher off that 435s, holding in pretty well. Look to see if it takes another step up there. SDIG now down to the 485s. I could see that one breaking towards the 4 on the short side of things. That looks good. VRAX trying to push higher there. Biotech has been holding in there. Now just made a nice attempt to move towards the 450s. All right, let's look around here. Let's try to find some of the trades. Woo! The SPY just lifting, man. Lift off on that SPY. Zinging. Want to make a move today, Zing? Did you just die on me? Zing is one to keep an eye out for, guys. Chart still looking pretty decent. Just hasn't made another run. Keep a close eye on it, right? Clean spark. Doesn't want to get going here, guys. Feel like some buyers should have definitely stepped up there towards that 1185s there. You see the trend line now that you're approaching, and you see how it kind of made this approach pullback, not trying to get that pullback back to the 67s here. Should have baked that breakout above the 85s, going to the 90 and the 12s. So at this point, got to determine if I'm just going to cut it out at the break even. So it's looking more like a break even cutout there. If it comes back to 71s, got to be careful for that cut down there. Not looking good, guys. Definitely the Q's ripped out there. Did not get that same action on clean spark here. So I'm getting really close to just stopping out of this name. And then I can get back in it later if I need to. But if it's going to fade back towards 1130s, 1120s, I definitely don't want to get caught in that move. Here's 1170s. It's going to maybe take a little bit of a wick down here. But could go straight to the 66 spot. That's risking still about $22 here. I'm going to put it at 63s. So I'll give it a cent or two here at the 69s and 70s. But 63s will get me out. Stop is set there. And I can already set the reward here on this. It's going to be back through 12s, going towards like the 1220s would be a nice little 198. Put me back break even on one trade. That's the way I like to set it up there. Trying to work my way back to green today, guys. Not trying to be big green. I'm just trying to get back to green today. Neon. Set up at that 430s. There goes 450s. DNA, we'll look to see if that one makes another move there. Down, will it go through there? AI, will it go through that 25? REB went back to 240s, guys. 230s now. Crazy on that REB. That was an intense one there. Q's big rip there. Big rip there. I'm sure that caught a lot of traders there with like trading to the short side of things. I'm sure a lot of traders were trading to the short side of things. TSN still recovering off of that 62.55. Now starting to go higher towards 62.71s. So it looks like this could recover back to 63.20s. On the daily chart, 63.50s, 64s is available to it. Not a bad little cut down back through the 62.50s to see that hold and then make the move back to the upside. We'll see what happens there in TSN. Starting to see some pullback out there in the market here. Just be careful out there, guys. After that big rip, it started to slow down there. HCC's been hanging out here down there. Wondering if we're going to get another coal play back to the upside here. I like the 15-minute outlook on how this is going sideways, and then could just make a move right back up. But energy is just getting wrecked. And that's the other thing that I kind of think about, because that's what's really affecting coal. Coal did not be up based on what I'm seeing in energy. We'll look to see what happens on this HCC. This is kind of more of a swing trade setup for me. We'll look to see if it starts to make its way back to the 60 spot. Clean Spark trying to get me here, guys. See how it's on the bid there, 1 cent. It's probably going to go wider here by 3 cents there and try to get me back to 68s, 66. SPY went right back down, and so did the Qs. So just be careful out there, guys. I'm definitely seeing a little bit of a shake. Qs might have made that blow off top. Did we make it to the daily high there? No, not on the Qs. The Qs does though have this resistance where it just touched, right? And so that's one thing to think about. The SPY's resistance though is still higher. For me, the body closes towards like the 564s and you're at 560s. But you got to keep in mind that this could always turn back to the downside. So just keep that in mind, guys, out there. Tyson might be the last one for me, guys. I think I'm going to get an out here on Clean Spark, about 30 bucks here. If I take a hit there, I'm down 230s. Might take one more shot in Tyson for the day as a defensive stock to come right back up there. But just taking a look at that one. All right, guys, definitely things starting to turn around here in the Qs. Look at that move right back down now, guys. So Stocks S starts actually being in play. So that's crazy, but it is in play now. SQQQ is even in play. Look at that. They made the 780s pullback, and now you're seeing that takedown, right? There's Clean Spark. Come and get me, guys. That came and got me real quick. SPY coming down fast there, guys. TSN is where I'm going to go, and I'm going to go buy in here in a second. Looking for some defensive action here. ADM was hot also on the first action. So that's another one that I could look at here. Discount stores doing well, right? Beverages pulling back there, packaged foods. They're all pretty much doing the same thing right now. Clorox on the pullback there. Man, the Qs are breaking down now, guys. So got to go for that success type of trade now. Holy moly, did they break down there. Just be careful out there, guys, but definitely seeing some breakdown in the tech names that were so strong. Now they're just getting wrecked. Tesla getting hit too. Qualcomm, look at that one. Look at Nvidia. Even Apple. Big hits there, guys. Big hits all around, guys. So definitely seeing that first downside action wave come in now. You need to see what starts to make a move to the upside there. But if the market gets dragged like this, sometimes we get all the stocks that come down there. XLU still looking decent on the day. That's what I'm looking at. Defensives looking good there. Looking around, guys, let's take a look at what else is making a move here. On the downside, the financials definitely took a hit there. So JPM could be that short. Look at that, guys. Look at that action. Financials really breaking down there. Goldman sucks. Goldman sucks, man. Was up there to 500 again, and now it's getting hit there towards the 495s. Definitely one to keep an eye out for. Target pulling back there now towards the 161. That's going to probably start dragging these. Look at Walmart dragging down too. So definitely seeing the drag coming into the market there, guys. SDIG, I can see this one cutting down towards the 4s. We'll see what happens on that. GTI starting to make an up move there, but definitely success. Big spike up there. We'll look to see if it continues to spike, or will we see that continued breakdown in different names. SPXS was one that kind of got the lift there. It's 727s right now, just starting to move. This one could only move, it doesn't move that much there. But what I could look off of this is the VIXI. So if I want to take a look at what can make a move here, it's this right here. So I'm going to go for a scalp opportunity here, guys, to wrap up the day here. It's 10:54. Let's go for a nice little scalp here, 10 cents or something like that. All right, let's do 500 here. Looking for a slight dip back. Still went fast there, so could just break up above this 1160s, 1167 to start to push there. I'm grabbing 500 here, looking for this to start to push there on the VIXI and then just start to push up there. Just trying to find ways to play this and trying to grind this higher here. We're strong earlier, now we're turning fast there, guys. Buy and the Qs just went from going to a breakout to a breakdown, guys. So just be careful out there, guys. Seeing some definite downside action. All right, 68 starts to show up here, guys. So I got to just determine if I want to take an ad and just keep going for the big swing there through. How much of a breakdown are we really going to get on this? Could get bounce backs here, guys. So I'm trying to wait for a second. See how this 15-minute went from the bottom end of the range to the top end of the range. And I'm buying at the top end of the range. So I'm looking for a move back toward where we kind of came from. We broke out from this first push. It went to the 63s. So maybe a pullback towards 63s and 60s holding well here is what I need to look for. So breakout went above that level. You can see a trend pullback towards like this 60s here. Would like to see 63s and 60s hold up. So for right now, 60s is where I'll add on pullback. Looking for this to rip higher through the 1170s. Tyson could be a way to play this, right? Like I talked about it, but just looking at different ways. Procter Gamble has pulled back to the 170s. We'll look to see if we get that. What's the catalyst for the hit, Mitch? Honestly, Shane, this is kind of more of those just price action. The catalyst, there's really no catalyst. The catalyst is that there doesn't need to be one, right? It's been so strong. We're going to get these shakeouts where profit taking happens and then you get a pullback. And then guess what? Those same guys that took profits will re-add and probably go long again. So we just got to be careful with that action. But it's definitely a move out there, guys. It was the trash was moving, the trash was moving, the trash was moving, and out of nowhere, the trash stopped. You had Lucid moving up there. You had all these kind of random names lifting off, right? FFIE, right? So keep your names on, keep those names on watch, right? Doesn't mean they're completely done. If we get another up rip, these could come right back into play, right? So keep that in mind. All right, guys, we'll see what else is happening out there. It's 10:58. It's time for me to wrap up the day. But boy, oh boy, is this market going to be a tough one today, guys. So be careful out there, guys. There's going to be a lot of action on both sides of the trade today, guys. That RevB was a crazy and wild one, guys. Came back to the 250s, now back at 258. So who knows? Maybe RevB just gets a big push here and it goes back to 350. It's definitely one that I'll take a look at. We'll see what happens if this one wants to push back towards the 350s and really make a move after shaking to the downside. 260s was that area to watch last time. We'll see what happens to it this time. What a shake today, guys. A lot of orders today for me today, guys. 22 orders, down 236. You guys can see it there. Lost 1, 2, 3 times. Got one win that got me back into the game. Then lost again. So essentially, I've lost 4 times today, only lost once, and only down 236. Not bad for being up over $500 yesterday, down about 136 on Monday. So with that being said, I'll take down the 236 right now. We'll see if we're able to bounce back. Like always, it's not just going to be straight green, right? I'm going to keep battling. I'm going to stay focused. I'll see what happens a little bit later today. The Qs is going to determine a lot in the SPY. That move was wicked. It was wicked to the upside. It was wicked on the downside. If you're too big in these situations where you get these wicked moves up or down, a lot of times the volatility itself is going to stop you out of the trade and not even give you the chance to see the direction play out, whichever way, if it's up or down. So that's why I try to stay small enough that if the direction happens, I don't just get destroyed in one side. Like always, guys, keep trying to work on the action out there. Keep a look out there to see what happens in the market today. Use Watchlist, top list to keep up in the top names, right? That's what one of the big lessons of today is how do I find Watchlist and top list to stay in these big names, and the names that everyone's trading. Those are the names that are going to get a lot of the action and give you also the possibility to get a big winner. We'll see what happens today, guys. A lot of action back and forth, and I'm going to keep battling out there. You guys stay safe. Be careful out there. It's war, so maybe to make some money there. We'll see, guys. I would watch defensive names if that is true. You would like to see Lockheed Martin just on a real takeoff candle. So LMT, you'd want to see that just getting really strong. So if you feel that it's war, well, Lockheed Martin looks like a buy right now, right? I mean, it's a nice little setup, to each his own. If you feel this is a nice little trade, if you're looking for defensive names, this is a name that has been hanging up at the top. 90 MA holding the pullback right now. We'll look to see if it goes higher, and also look to see if there's a scare out of China, right? Is it a China name that's involved in this situation? We'll see what happens, guys. Like always, smash the like. I'll keep battling with you guys, and check me out tomorrow morning. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep getting after it. Tomorrow I'll have Tim back in the stream. We'll be taking a look at what's going on in the market. We'll definitely talk to him on a little bit about what happened there in Target. And like always, keep up with the small ones, the large ones. And of course, if you guys want what stocks are moving and the catalyst why, the Sunrise Report is always there for you guys. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Hit the like on your way out. Like always, guys, we got a lot more for you guys on Trade the Pool, and join the Discord if you guys want to keep things going after the stream. That's where everybody just shifts over and keeps trading. I'll see you guys over. Let's keep the likes going and keep going right here on Trade the Pool.